I'll be quiet.
Good evening, ladies and gents. We are here, week 4 of the Elder League on Ascension eSports. I am Wumbo, joined by HarkenScythe. The
I'll be
teams
quiet.
we are viewing today
Good
are
evening, ladies and gents. We are here.
Relegades Incorporated versus Interns United. How you doing, Hark?
So I'm doing very well. We have the number 2 team versus number 5 in the standings for Elder League, and already we have some very quick bans. We have Zillion and Graves banned so far.
Yep, Zillion and Graves indeed. I believe both teams are working with all their bands. It's been a while since I've actually seen that, so not both teams are working with the full utilization, which is very good.
And we see very quick second set of bans. We see very quick bans indeed. I don't think any ban has gone past 10 seconds, but a lot of jungle bans we see. We see Kha'Zix, Lee Sin, Graves, a lot of these sort of S and A tier junglers already off the table. So White Raw and Feeder, they're going to have to kind of go down the tier list. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what they're going to pull out.
Yeah, target banning, trying to clinch that jungle pull, definitely a strong strategy for both junglers. White Raw last week had a very strong showing on his Graves, and Feeders had really high KDAs on his junglers in week 3. So definitely smart moves by both teams. Now we're waiting on a Red Flame or a Relegades to pick. It is going to be the first pick, Lulu. With
That's
all
kind of
those, go ahead.
continue. It's fine.
So with all those jungle bans that we had, that does leave the strong S tier Lulu open. Now it looks like Interns might take away the Lucian, which has been pretty strong and favored highly as of late, but Lulu can still be paired up with one of those backline traditional lady carries such as Tristana, Kog'Maw, or even Jinx.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see Lulu, of course, S tier. It'll be interesting to see what Feeder picks up. We actually saw a Gangplank ban um, for the side of. Is that? I believe that's that interns on the
Yeah,
red
Interns
side.
on red side, the
Okay.
Relegades on blue
So
side, Interns
instead,
on red.
Feeder is going to go down to the Gragas. Not a super strong pick, but as we said, with all of the bans that we've had on the jungle, kind of have to go down that pool, and it is possible that looks like Relegades, they might want to pick up that Ezreal for Samano. Pretty
Yes.
strong pick, especially against Lucian, because you have the range advantage.
Yeah, not to mention that Samano's actually got a pretty strong Lucian, or a pretty strong Ezreal rather, in the league, and it's going to be an Echo picked up for Cyber to God. He's favored that Echo very highly in the past, so not really too surprised to see that one get picked up for him. Some strong performances, but definitely could use some improvement, but nevertheless does it pretty well on that champion.
So with that Echo being picked up, what is Corrin the Cat's next option for the mid lane pool? Unless, of course, they don't want to pick something now.
Well,
Fizz,
considering
maybe?
Fizz possibly, but already looking at the team comp that Relegades have drafted for themselves, I would like to see a Vladimir just because of the low amount of wave clear sitting on that Ezreal. I mean, Echo has a good amount of his own, but having a ranged, a very strong laning phase mid laner would do well to kind of crush Cyber the God's laning, keep him from hitting some of those power spikes later in that scaling. So
Yeah, and
Vladimir definitely be a
now
smart pick.
we're
Nami is
going to
going to get picked
see
up.
Nami and Renekton. So Renekton, one of the sort of top laners that's been picked up as this season has gone on. Pretty good into the tanks. He can build Black Cleaver early. I don't know why they're hovering Xayah. They cannot pick it this week. So they're just trolling us, I suppose. But Nami and Renekton picked up, and here they're going to want to pick up their top laner and their jungler. And the pick left for the side of for the sides of Intune United is going to be for their mid laner. So it'll be interesting to see what they might pick up to counter the Echo in
Yeah, I have a feeling.
particular.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're waiting to see what Cyber the God's pick was going to be. Perhaps expecting it to be the Echo and try to come up with some sort of counter pick for it. But it does look like they're going to be ready for it. If these actually get locked, so Nasus going into the top lane, and Vi gets locked for the jungle. These are really
So
strong dives.
that is a Nasus. Um, not very optimistic into about the Nasus pick. We see the Vi as well. The problem with the Nasus pick, especially against Renekton, is that Renekton wins lane super hard against Nasus and can keep him off of minions. So unless White Raw's going to be trying to visit that lane pretty often and giving up pressure in a lane like Ezreal Lulu or an Echo lane against something like a normal mage, unless they don't pick a normal mage, of course. I don't think this Nasus is very prime for success. It's possible. It's possible he could get to a strong point, but against Renekton, it's going to be an uphill battle to say the least.
Yeah, I'd agree with that point. Perhaps even ice skating uphill. Weak laning phase in Nasus, strong laning phase in Renekton. It's kind of Renekton's niche just to crush
And
those
that
late game scaling.
and that's
Wow,
in
and
a
his Zir
Azir.
pick.
So
What a throwback. All right.
that's pretty risky, I think, of Corrin. Obviously, he's confident in his um laning phase, I guess, because Azir into Echo is not exactly the most fun matchup for the Azir. But that's a pretty strong carry, and they kind of need that carry because Renekton falls off late game, of course. Lucian, pretty strong late game, but with the build he's sort of been going into, it could be problematic. But um, what are your thoughts on these compositions so far? Because they're quite interesting in comparison to one another.
Yeah, talk about red side interns united. A little bit of a mixed bag, I think. I mean, you have the strong laning phase in Renekton. Gragas has lots of early pressure and scales pretty well throughout the game. It's just, eventually just becomes a sort of a CC bot, to say the least, in his barrels and flash body slam, cask combos. Azir, like you said before, is a fantastic scaling. Lucian can kind of almost reach a hypercarry status, while Nami's main job is going to be peeling for that. So their team fight is going to often revolve around sort of basic front to back team fighting with Gragas in the back, perhaps making a catch, and then Azir and Lucian staying in the back line, dealing out damage towards the enemy front line, which in this case the Relegades. Their front line is mostly just going to consist of the Nasus, which is a little bit worrisome. They've so Interns United have drafted for themselves in the top and the bot lane a pretty one matchup. I mean, and Lulu Ezreal is gonna win out. The Lulu is gonna be able to get push priority in the bot lane for like the first 3 levels maybe, and then after a while, Lucian's gonna be able to outpush Ezreal and have a stronger laning phase on that. It's just kind of be Lulu's job to keep him surviving through that. But once he gets towards the later parts of the game, the scaling is on the side of the Relegades. You have Echo, who has a really strong mid-game power spike. Ezreal, known for the mid-game power spike once he gets the Bork and Muramana and his Triforce. Nasus, hyper late game scaling, and Vi has pretty good scaling all throughout. So it's going to be interesting to see how both teams play around those power spikes, as it can very easily throw the games into either team's favor.
Yeah, I think the kind of biggest problem I have with the Relegades composition is that Nasus isn't the best team fighter in the world, and the thing about the composition for Interns United, they have a lot of pick potential. The Gragas flash body slam, very good CC potential. Nami bubble can follow up, and then if they need to, they can use a zero. Renekton can also be there for the stun, and I mean, Renekton as well can split push pretty well. Like Nasus can, but Renekton is also not the worst team fighter in the world because he at least has proper mobility because of the dash, whereas Nasus, unless he's running Storm Raider Surge, which is that is a popular keystone mastery on Nasus, I don't think this Nasus is going to be very prime for success outside of trying to split push and gain advantage against the Renekton sort of mid to late game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, a little bit another worrying point is they saw the Renekton and they chose to pick the Nasus into it, and it's pretty risky, like you said, especially if Nasus gets rolled in that lane, and Renekton's just gonna roam out and start, diving the back line, as real. But speaking of dive, I mean, a Vi and an Echo in the hands of White Raw and Cyber the God
There's a lot of diving potential in this game from both sides. We have top lane and jungle for for Interns United, and then for Relegades, they have, as you said, the Vi and the Echo. There's also a lot of disengage on the side of Interns United, and I think that might be the big thing that keeps them alive against the Echo and the Vi. If they can land that bubble, if Gragas is on point with his ultimates and his body slams, it might be enough for them to win the game. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, interesting indeed. Now we are loading in here, so we'll get to see what the keystones each player has opted with. Renekton didn't go for Storm Raiders, went for Fervor instead. Probably the preferred one considering how well he synergizes with that.
And Nasus, I was saying Nasus likes to go Storm Raider
Oh,
Surge,
my bad.
but it's fine.
I
So
think it was
Nasus,
Did he go Storm Raiders?
yes, indeed he did.
Okay, cool. Yeah, pretty standard
So
for him.
Keystone's nothing really out of the ordinary, I'd say. We have Thunderlords for both sides of the mid lane. We have both junglers taking Courage of the Colossus. So nothing super out of the ordinary in terms of that. So as we're loading in, I'm going to ask you the question of instant pause, but I'm going to ask you now, who do you think is going to take this game? Because we've talked a lot about the compositions, but who do you think is going to win the game?
I mean, strictly off of just a prediction standpoint, like disregarding like the picks and stuff like that, I had to give it over to Interns United just because they've shown how well they can sort of dominate their games. Sitting at second place, well, the Relegades are sitting in sixth place right now. But I mean, Cyber the God, he usually has pretty strong showings on his Echo, and right now he's in a favorable lane against Corn the Cat on his ear. So it's a little bit of an inverse, whereas in the top lane for the Relegades, it favors Interns United, Renekton and Nasus, like we keep going on about. But in the mid lane, I'd have to give the push priority and the one lane over to Cyber the God if he plays it correctly into the Azir.
Of course, it's a very difficult lane. Azir has a lot of range. It'll be interesting to see if we're going to see any level 1 action. I know that Doctor in particular, as part of our cast and crew, loves to cast level 1 action. So, pretty standard fan out so far, however, so doesn't look like there's going to be any level 1 shenanigans today.
Yeah, indeed. Not today. Corn the Cat, they go up to that red side. It's a little bit interesting. Normally you just see him kind of stick around towards that bot side.
Well, it's good.
I'm
He's
more
sort
interested
of
to see the build paths from White Raw. Personally, I mean, I'm a jungle main, so I'm curious to see the build path that White Raw goes for on that Vi, and similarly, Samano's Ezreal if he chooses to go for the Iceborne Gauntlet for extra kiting power, because he's going to be getting dove a little bit, and they try to keep the mobility down on Lucian, or if he's going to go for Triforce and be a mainstay carry.
I don't think he needs to go Triforce this game. I think if he wants to feel safer, Red Flame and Hip, they're doing the little level 1 dance.
Hippity hoppity?
Skibbity hoppity, skibbity hop.
Okay,
But
so nothing much. Yeah, fairly standard stuff. I'm actually kind of surprised that neither team went for any wards. That's something that we see often, is neither team starting top side or even warding to see where either side starts. So I feel like that'd be a potential advantage that they could use starting top side when neither team predicts it.
yeah, we see White Raw actually starting at Raptor Camp, which is something we see a lot of LCS junglers do, but
It looks like the bot lane from Relegades coming over to say hi.
they just want to get a quick, little bit of a quick look, but Feeder going sort of standard 1 buff start, and already no major advantages yet.
Like
We just got
said for 1 to 5 CS in the mid lane currently.
well, that is the range advantage of the Azir. That's the big thing that Azir has against the Echo that can keep him safe in that laning phase. If he's able to poke Echo away, he can keep that laning phase pretty even, and that's kind of important for Azir to do.
I would expect him. I mean, CyberDeGod didn't bring teleport, so that's going to be, if he does start to lose that matchup, it's going to be hard for him to kind of come back from that. You know, he took Ignite. If you take the teleport, you can sort of let the lane shove in and then get a early back and then teleport back so that you don't miss any CS. And already in the bot lane, we see HM.
Oh, a lot of action already. Samano gonna keep getting some poke out. HMT foresees heal, and both sides starting to chug some cookies. They're gonna need them.
The both of those connect though.
Sandwalker's gonna get hit up. Come on, is doing a lot of damage. That's the ignite from Sandwalker. Samano taking a little bit more. Very, very aggressive bot lane so far, and it looks like Feeder and White Raw might actually possibly meet up here.
Speaking of aggressive.
Yeah, bot lane. Ezreal, Lulu, they're just shoving in. They have that shove advantage until Lucian starts getting some items.
Speaking of shove advantage, similarly the shove advantage is happening in the top lane as well. Renekton continually being on top of Red Flame's tower.
That is the power of Renekton, but he's losing in CS.
Yeah,
that's the big problem. And White Raw is going to come in, forces a flash out of Hip. He's probably going to go down anyways, and that is first blood to White Raw.
Yeah, that's such a great pickup too.
Very, very strong pickup. Good start. And the fact that Renekton is winning in lane already is huge.
Yeah, I mean,
if he
expected that to be going towards the side of the Renekton, but getting that first kill on the Nasus is probably going to sway that just a little bit. No,
that's TP
for a second gank, but he doesn't connect it.
White Raw. Corn's going to have to back away now. He's low on mana. I'd expect him to back here, unless he decides not to, which he might not. Yeah,
and there hasn't been a response yet from Feeder.
He's just kind of farming up on Gragas. He does have now the Skirmisher Saber. I think that's why he hasn't really been in a great position to gank. He finished his Skirmishers, but here he comes onto Cyber. He actually used the dash, and Feeder's going to find White Raw, and they're going to begin dueling, and Feeder...
Ooh, that was so close.
Oh, he might get caught.
Yeah,
Feeder's waiting for the E, and he's going to be able to kill White Raw if he hits it. He doesn't. Here comes Sandwalker and Samano. Feeder's now going to have to back out. Corn's getting chased by Cyber. Flash from Feeder. He might go down here if Cyber gets enough mana for his E.
Oh!
The fail flash from Cyber. Feeder is going to be able to get out, and...
Oh, Red Flame, though, he's getting collapsed upon from all sides.
Oh, Feeder, now he's going down, definitely. Unless that's the Ignite, Cyber gets the kill, so that resets the lane a little bit more.
Such a long-winded exchange.
That was a very long exchange. Nasus walked all the way down to get in on that action too. So, well played by Relegades. They take an early, almost 1,000, about 700 to 800 gold lead, and bot lane a little bit of trading. Sandwalker forced down to half health.
Yeah, and if you look at your mini map, Hip Optimus is going down. Gets a ward. That's such a fantastic ward for him to get. In that red side jungle.
Yeah, very smart. Gonna see if White Raw is gonna come up again, which I assume he will. Again, at some point, he wants to get the kill onto the Nasus again. Nasus right now doesn't actually have a kill yet. If he can get that kill,
White Raw is actually posting up.
And he's going back down bot lane. HMT just bursted. Completely destroyed the Q and the E along with Samano, and he's gone now. Come on, shoot faster. You don't want to be in this lane anymore, my friend. Yeah, but Sandwalker's going to take a lot of damage.
Is he going to go down too? Oh, he needs one more
Kamon's going to get out, but that is the flash.
Well, we already see the response on on the west jungle from Feeder. Sees White Raw go bot lane, but he might actually get caught out here.
Yeah, Feeder's a little bit lower on health. Both are about equivalent in mana.
Ooh, Red Flame's
Nasus is down here. He's going to get caught by the Nasus.
Oof.
Oh, he walked into the Nasus. And now he's going to go down, potentially. No, what? Alright, there he goes. Red Flame, Flash Q. He goes down, but now he's walking into Hip Optimus. And he's going to take a lot of damage.
White Raw doesn't have ult or mana.
Both sides ult. Hip Optimus, he's tanking a lot, life-stealing with that Q.
If you look at your minimap, you saw Corn the Cat try to roam up as well, but Cyber the God was there to match that and stop him, so he was forced to E over the wall. And looking at the item build from Feeder, it's kind of interesting that, you know, even being sort of behind and losing the pressure game and the gank game, you know, being behind, bought a Dark Seal. Kind of interesting. I mean, it's less like a bad vibe, but more of like a mindset sort of deal. Where it's kind of curious where he thought that would be a good by being 0-2 and making risky invades.
Maybe, but Hip Optimus doing a lot of damage to Red Flame, forcing him down to about 20% health. But Red Flame, with that passive, gonna heal right back up. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Corrin, pretty low. Even though he's high on mana, he doesn't really have any health to work with. Cyber could look for the dive. He does have the ultimate prepared. Doesn't have Ignite though. That's the big
Feeder on the wings though. Could get caught.
Feeder's here. Cyber's gets hit up by Feeder. Feeder takes a lot of damage. Cyber, the ultimate misses. He's gonna go back in. Corrin will not go down, and Cyber. There's White Raw. He's going in. He gets hit up. He's gonna die for Corrin. He's going to be able to get him, but he's going to trade his life to Feeder. So ultimately a 2-for-1. A little bit of a greed play. My Interns united, but meanwhile in the bot lane, Samano's gonna get hit up. The tidal wave comes out from Nami. Ult from Lulu comes down. Polymorph. Lulu's forced to flash away. A lot of aggression going on around the map.
Hey, you're a little bit behind. Tap the plus a few times.
Ah, yes. Sometimes I have interesting things.
Yeah, it happens occasionally, but yeah, it's I guess that Dark Seal paid off. 2 kills. The only 2 kills on the side of Interns United go over to Feeder. Still, he actually, interestingly, I guess,
extra 12 AP. Come on, uses the ult.
Ooh, come on.
Samano hit by the bubble.
Yeah, if you channel it before it connects, then it
yeah, it's able to dodge out of most CC. Yeah. I have had the unfortunate unfortunacy of knowing that multiple times as a top laner, trying to dive in on a Ezreal only to get denied every time.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Tristana works in a similar way. It's a little bit more interesting, but Feeder once again making an invade happen. Does actually have an XP lead over
he's
White
gonna
Raw.
Take some turret shots here, trying to go in on Red Flame. He does get the ulti to go off.
He's tanking turret for a long time.
But Red Flame
crap
deletes Feeder, and now Hip Optimus, you need to get out.
Yeah, the
Hip
turret aggro
Optimus
never
is going
reset.
to have the stun up soon, and he goes down. So that is a double kill to Red Flame Evolved, who is now 3-0 on this Nasus. I don't think the Renekton pick worked out particularly well.
Yeah, I don't believe so either, and it wasn't even like they're trying to have a counter pick ready for something like a scaling top laner like Nasus. It just kind of looked like that's what they were preferring. Yeah, that's gotta sting. I mean, 7-2.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt. Corrin, however, getting some good trades onto Cyber, who kind of fail-E'd into the corner of the wall and just took more soldier autos, but right now
is gonna be fine. Or Cyber is just gonna be fine. He's gonna want to scale up. He's just gonna pick up as much CS as he can in that tough laning phase.
Oh, White Raw, he's coming around. I don't know if Corrin spotted this, and that's double CC. Corrin is dead. That's very, very quickly. CC of Vi, and then also we see Red Flame actually proxying Hip Optimus, and he's dead.
Yeah, he's rolling over Hip Optimus.
Yeah, Red Flame Evolved. I think he's pretty comfortable on this Nasus.
Oh yeah, he's flashing the Master 7 as well. He knows what he's doing. That's just his playstyle. He does it on Shen too, just completely so aggressive. It's kind of interesting.
He's rolling over Renekton as Nasus. I don't think this happened in the lore. This isn't accurate, guys.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I don't think this is accurate to lore. I'm pretty sure Renekton won this one. But bot lane, that's the tidal wave, and down goes Sandwalker. Samano forced to flash away. He's gonna live.
Ooh, White Raw might
That's
be
the
in a bad spot
exhaust
too.
onto White Raw.
It's funny how Feeder made his ADC, he made his own ADC burn his flash to try to pick up the rest of the damage on that. Still wasn't able to pick him up, so
But that
ultimately a kill
is
for Flash.
exhausted down, and Red Flame
It's going back to the top lane.
just diving under turret. He doesn't even care anymore. He doesn't even have a completed item yet outside of Ninja Tab Eyes. But Corrin's here. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything.
Yeah,
But bot side, actually, Interns, they're going to pick up a turret here, so able to finally trade out versus Nasus, but they're not going to win that pushing game.
Yeah, it depends on what Red Flame can make happen up that top lane. Perhaps a trade not going to happen, though. He backs off that one. So a turret for not on the side of Relegades. So ultimately, good pickup. It's what you want to have when you're behind, like the Relegades are, or rather like the Interns are right now. 4,000 gold lead in the pockets of Relegades as they try to take this dragon.
Yeah, this is going to hurt a lot, and Red Flame has a Frozen Heart, and he's actually going to be going into Trinity Force. Fiber gets the stun on the Corrin. Corrin's going to get bursted a lot, forced to flash away.
A little bit questionable. Easy dragon pickup, and we're already seeing the pressure mounting right now on top of the Interns United. Cyber the God is going in once more, burns flash.
And he's able to kill Corrin.
Yeah, it was such an easy
Bubble
pickup.
misses from HMT. Want you faster. You're a bit far forward. You need to be careful. There is a pretty fed Echo there, and Vi is not far away. But Nasus now in the bot lane. Gonna get that outer turret too.
Yeah, I imagine they're just gonna be moving him around, just putting it wherever there's turrets. They're just gonna put him so that they can fall.
And honestly, I don't think Comanche Faster and HMT are going to be able to defend against him. They might try, but Red Flame is a lot of damage. And Hip Optimus, we just have a lane swap here, and Hip Optimus diving in against the Ezreal, and he's going to get the stun off. The ult against Samano. Hip Optimus gets hit up by the ultimate. He's forced to flash away. The Ignite is ticking. Going to be able to survive for now, but Feeder almost stuck in the Baron Pit. He's going to be able to get away.
Yeah, bot lane 2 are having a 2v1. Top lane
and Red Flame.
Holy crap.
He dodges the tidal wave. He dodges the tidal wave and Comanche Faster down to a third health. And
he literally,
HMT, you just need to leave.
Literally took out all of, or half of Shoot Faster's HP in one Q.
He gets knocked up, but it doesn't matter because he's Nasus. He has Frozen Heart, a lot of armor, a lot of mana. He also has the lifesteal on his passive, and he's just going to keep on moving in wave after wave. And there isn't much Comanche Faster can do to deal with that.
Yeah, and speaking of that, with Nasus being in the bottom lane, the game's opened up just a little bit more, and this is now allowing Seventh God's Echo to gain the CS that he was missing in that early game. Early on in that Azir matchup, as he's now equal in CS towards that Azir. 3 kills above him, so sitting extremely well in that matchup.
Yeah, and pings on to Hip Optimus. Mono's there, White Raw's backing. And Sam Walker's just going to get some more war coverage. And meanwhile, in the bot lane, Red Flame doesn't care that he's 2v1. He's just picking up minions. He has about 300 stacks now.
Yeah, that's 16 minutes, and he's doing very well for himself. 306
bonus damage on Q, and Comanche Faster.
Oh god, this is gonna hurt.
Oh no. Oh, that Q hurts a lot. Comanche Faster. You need to be careful, my friend.
Yeah, I really like the lane allocation from the Relegades right now. They put the Nasus in the bot lane to perhaps try to get that turret down, but I think more so it's just about keeping in there so he can keep farming, stacking up, and accelerating his scaling. The Second God going deep.
And he's going to... And Red Flame evolved bot lane. Comanche Faster comes down. White Raw is there. HMT is next, and he gets double dunked. Q from Nasus, ult from Vi. He's down 2, and that's a... Cyber is dead, but Corrin, come on, and HMT died for him.
Yeah, I do not think this is what we were expecting at all with this Nasus pick. This is unbelievable.
He's absolutely destroying this game. Hip Optimus is going to be able to get a turret unless Red Flame is able to TP there in time, and he's going to channel the TP. It's going to force Hip Optimus off the turret. Still only one turret right now for Interns United.
Yeah, right now, Red Flame's already sitting on three completed items if you include the boots. The Triforce on top of Frozen Heart.
And then he's likely going to get a Visage, and then honestly, I don't think there's going to be a single person in the game that kill him.
Yeah, until
unless they
it's insane right now how
even
far
late
ahead he
game.
is.
I don't think Azir is going to be able to kill Red Flame Devolve fast enough to the point where he's not going to get burst out by like 1 or 2 Qs from the Nasus, and that's going to be mid lane turret for Cyber as we were speaking.
Yeah.
Corrin not having the most fun on this Azir right now.
I think it was a really interesting pick. I mean, I expected something to be more of a counter pick since they saved that mid pick for last.
And here we go. We're going to get Rift Herald onto Nasus now, too. As if he wasn't strong enough already, he also needs Rift Herald.
Yeah, holy crap, those auto attacks can start hitting like trucks. What an easy pickup for them. But Interns United are trying to shut down this mid lane tower. They seemed a little bit in shambles, not really sure where to go or what to do. Because, I mean, this is just one of those games where you kind of slash FF and then try to run the next one.
Yeah, Nasus is just going to go back top lane. He's going to keep on farming, keep getting stronger. And honestly, Interns United are kind of stumbling about the middle of the map. And
holy crap, Hip Optimus.
Hip Optimus. He might actually. He's not going to flash Q.
Yeah, I thought he was going to flash Q.
Lame.
Literally one auto attack away from death.
One empowered Q. And honestly, I don't think the lack of wave clear is hurting Relegades that much because Nasus is able to keep 1 or 2 people away. And if it's a 3-on-4, it's much easier to wave clear. And
that's a bit interesting. Shimano could be going down here. Forced to burn flash and heal. But yeah, like you were saying about the wave clear, I mean, really it's just the zone control that keeps them off the wave, and then they can't push it, and then you can push it yourself. So it's a little interesting how they have wave clear but don't really have wave clear.
we see Corrin and HMT. They're going to go bot lane. Corrin dodges the stun. Bubble does not land on the Cyber. That was almost very dangerous for Corrin the cat.
Whoa, Hip Optimus is just in such a bad spot right now.
Oh, he does not want to stand to his turret. That's the ult. This is 3v1. As strong as Red Flame is, Kamachu Faster gets destroyed by the Q. He's going to go down. Red Flame might be able to get out of this. Flash from Feeder. Down goes the big Doge. But it took 3 people to kill him, and they still lost Kamachu Faster.
Yeah, Rift Flame is doing pretty much Clifford right now, a big red dog up in that top lane. And in response, Relegades.
They're going to pick up this turret. Corrin trying to do something, not able to really do anything. That's as much as that was, you know, they finally shut down the Nasus. It doesn't matter because they lost the turret, and although Hip Optimus is going to get a turret of his own, Relegades are just going to pick up a second Cloud Drake, so they're going to be able to go even faster.
Yeah, especially with the Vi being able to run people down, and similarly with the Echo, it's going to be a little bit stronger than normal.
Starting initiation is going to be very, very important for Cyber to go on the Echo. He's done well on it so far, and that Cloud Drake helps him just that little bit more. And Visage on Nasus now. He's tanky. He has probably more damage than anyone else in the game besides maybe Echo. But Echo isn't nearly as tanky as the Nasus is.
Yeah, this is insane. What a great performance coming from Red Flame. And you talked about the initiation for the side of the Relegades. That is a little bit of a weakness in their comp, is that they don't have very reliable engage. And all that they can really hope for is White Rod to get a flank down, or to just kind of brute force his way with an Assault and Battery and a Vault Breaker. Speaking of Vault Breaker, White Rod.
Hip Optimus is gone. He's done. Cyber disconnect.
Should be a pause here.
There's the pause.
Yeah, this Nasus
but
pick,
Hip Optimus,
this Renekton pick isn't really working out like they hoped it would. It seems.
No, down 60 CS. He's dead. He's died 5 times, especially against the Nasus. That's a horrible position to be in. The only thing that could be worse if Nasus had something like maybe a Titanic Hydra. I could see it.
Yeah, I'm honestly a little bit surprised
Boost.
he went for a tankier build instead of going for like a Tiamat and a Titanic Hydra, because I feel like that if he put the passive on top of the Q, holy crap, he'd be hitting so hard, and it would give him a lot more wave clear because he seems to be doing the split push game.
I mean, it's smart for Nasus to go tanky because he's expecting to get hit by multiple people. So that's sort of the common Nasus thing, get so tanky and just rely on his Q damage. He doesn't necessarily need the Titanic Hydra proc. It will be interesting, a little bit something, a little bit different, a little bit spicy. But right now, it looks like Relegades are actually in prime position around the Baron, and with Hip Optimus dead, that's their 1 TP gone, and Peter's down bot side. It is very possible that Cyber, White Raw, Samano, and Sandwalker could burst down that Baron pretty quickly without much of a response on the side of Interns, if that's what they indeed go for.
Yeah, they have a fantastic setup here if you're the Relegades. Additionally, Red Flame does have his teleport, so if Interns United choose to contest that Baron, all Red Flame has to do is continue pushing. It would be pretty difficult for Interns to do that considering that their Smite is in the top lane. And also that, I mean, he's up against Red Flame. We keep talking about how strong he is. And if they choose to collapse on Red Flame, he'll just TP towards the Baron and then just take that, then go top and take that tower instead. So, I mean, Interns United are forced into what's pretty much a lose-lose situation here. So definitely props to Relegades for making this Nasus pick work in what seemed to be a less favorable matchup.
Yeah, honestly, I don't see, outside of a big throw by Relegades in which they catch out Cyber, kill him, and somehow also kill Red Flame Evolved and White Raw. You need to kill those 3 because those 3 are the big damage threats. Samano does a good amount of damage. He has the Triforce, he has the Muramana, but he's not the main threat right now. The main threat in team fights is the Echo and the Vi, and of course the split push threat is is in the Nasus. So this is going to be this is not even an uphill battle. This is trying to climb vertically on ice while naked.
Yeah, and as a little bit of a logistical point, we are sitting at the pause here and it is getting towards the 5-minute mark, and that means that Relegades will have to forfeit or continue playing as a 4v5, which honestly, Nasus, Red Flame's pretty much 2 people. Yeah, they can honestly win the 4v5.
We saw Red Flame topside, under turret, mind you, take on Feeder, Come On Shoot Faster, and Hip Optimus, and was able to burst Come On Shoot Faster with, I think, maybe 2 Qs pretty easily.
Yeah, and then it took
Did die for it, but
yeah, it took a flash body slam from Feeder to finish him off, but it takes 3 people. It literally takes 3 people, and it has to be a damage dealer. If you took Inami, Renekton, and Gragas up there to kill Red Flame, that's not gonna happen. You have to bring Azir or the Lucian up there, and that means that Relegades are going to be able to take a tower while that is happening. Or
and
like
that's
they're doing right now, start up the Baron, which I believe they're going to start soon.
White Raw hits it, Sandwalker hits it. Both of them. Sandwalker is now down to half health.
Yeah, and so I guess they were afraid of the contest, but Red Flame already gets that tower down. That was like 4 hits.
And now Feeder is going to be next on his list.
Yeah, Feeder.
But Come On Shoot Faster is here. There is potential if Come On.
No, he's like, ooh, ADC.
Here comes the Azir. As he saw forced out, but Feeder was forced down to half health. Come On Shoot Faster was forced down to half health. And Baron is likely going to go down outside of a miracle steal by Nami. TP from Hip Optimus. You're a bit ahead of your team.
Really close.
And this is going to be stolen! Oh! From HMT. Cyber to God forced to flash away. He goes down. Samano dies as well. That's the throw. There it is. I was talking about it.
HM, the miracle bubble picked up the Baron.
Huge bubble. Absolutely saved the game. If that bubble does not land and they get Baron, Nasus just TPs onto the inhibitor and that's gone. You cannot stop the Nasus and you can't get back to base fast enough. But now, big swing for Interns United. They get 4 kills. They get Baron. They even the gold lead out to about 4K-ish. And Not Too Faster is going to be able to get a turret, so gold lead's now down to about 3,000.
Yeah, honestly, never would have predicted that would have been the Nami to steal that Baron, and that's really just what the Interns
I thought
need
maybe
to
the
try to pull
Renekton was
themselves
going to
back
do
into
it.
this. Yeah, I thought Renekton was going to be able to do it.
He was in the middle of the pit, and the smite was early. I believe the Baron was on about 19 health, something like that.
Baron leveled up or had a redemption of his own, try to heal himself up. That's ridiculous.
That was so close. If that smite comes in a second later, they get the Baron, but the smite was slightly early. And now Hip Optimus.
Could be going down again, but he's tankier than he was before. It does have that random endowment.
White Raw forced to back away. The ult comes out from Samano. Cyber God is on the back line. He gets a double stun on the front line. Ooh. Cyber ults big.
Chrono break on a 4.
Chrono break, and Samano's going to keep going in. White Raw tries to burst out HMT. He's going to go down. Want You Faster. Pretty low, and Nasus is on the backside. Redemption. Not going to really do much. Samano might actually be able to kill him. Force Flash away.
Yeah, they have
Red Flame Evolve still chasing. Red Flame Evolve is going to go topside. He's going to 2-shot this turret quickly. And you're in Corrin. They're like, how's this guy pushing turrets so fast?
He doesn't need to. He just hits them. It doesn't really matter. He sees
yeah,
turret
they're gone.
To go down. He's Pip Kane.
Fire to God.
Pip Kane Clifford. Can't do much against
He's trying to bring his team through this. He got that big parallel convergence onto 4 people. But even he can't. He's not quite strong enough now to 1v5 quite yet. Sandwalker just sitting in the middle of lane, and he's gonna go down to come on, shoot faster.
Yeah, the pressure is mounting in the bot lane against Relegades right now, so they're gonna have to clear that out. Cyber the God already on that. The good Azir tower is gonna keep the pressure up in the mid lane, while they do have this Baron buff to try to siege down that mid lane tier 2 tower. They could potentially get it down with Comanche's fast damage. Good line and Hip Optimus.
White Raw's on the flank. He hits Hip Optimus. Hip Optimus gets bursted. Cyber is going to look for a stun. He gets a 3-man stun. Ooh. Ultimate from Feeder breaks it up a little bit. Feeder is very low. But that's a 2 for 1. There we go. That's a 2 for 1, actually. Against Interns. They lost that trade pretty bad. And Red Flame now, not under the ultimate. He's going to get hit up by the bubble. Not that much damage to come on shoot faster, though. They're going to have to back away. The Azir turret is up. But Nasus doesn't care about that.
Yeah,
going to be able to pick up that turret.
Come On Too Faster opted for the Black Cleaver is going to help to cut down some of the armor on Red Flame.
Yeah, he has 3. He's going to have 3 dedicated armor items right now. He already has Frozen Heart, Ninja Tabi. Going to have the Dead Man's Plate in a moment, and if his autos didn't hurt now, they're going to hurt even more when he has that Glimpse of the Void up, when he has Dead Man's Plate fully stacked. Yes. And now they're going to get the Infernal Drake.
Yeah, that's even more massive. We've already seen the performance that Cyber God has been having. That's really a
and I don't think HMT this time is going to get the Miracle Steal. Not this time. Too far away.
Can't get in there. Cyber the God's KD doesn't really reflect how well he's been playing, but continually landing multi-man chrono breaks and parallel convergences, so definitely having a strong performance on his Echo like he has in the past. Classic staple for him.
Right now, this game, honestly, it's a lot more even than it should be. As well, the only reason for that is because of that big fight that that Interns were able to win around the Baron pit, but like the map's going to return to normalcy. We're just going to roam around the map, and it looks like Interns is going to go bot lane, pick up that big wave, whereas Red Flame Evolved going to go back top lane again. Hasn't been able to split push super effectively, honestly.
Yeah, now that
at least now.
Yeah, since most of the outer turrets are down, they kind of have to change their style a little bit to translate that and just trying to siege down those inhibitor towers rather than split push down the outers. But so it's gonna have to be a little bit of a shift, but the later and later the shift comes is more time for Interns United to scale back into this, which has already quickly been happening. Like you said, it's even out just a little bit. It used to be a 7,000 gold lead, is now dwindled to 4, succeeding the events of that miraculous Baron steal.
Yep, and Red Flame evolved, meeting with Hip Optimus. Hip Optimus does not want to be anywhere near that Naz.
He's
Just
1 in
walking.
7.
He's just walking all the way back.
Hip Optimus a 1 in 7, but his strength not reflected in his KDA, sitting on 3.5 items. Black Cleaver, Rainwind's Omen, Spectre's Cowl, so definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Certainly against the squishies, but honestly, White Raw and Cyber have been on point with landing their CC, so there's very little opportunity for Hip Optimus to actually do anything, and now he's just going to get blowed up by Red Flame, and there's no way he can wave clear. And
yeah, I kind of want to see if he's able to get an auto attack onto that inhibitor, how much damage he does, but
gonna back away. He, as weak as Lucian has been in the early game, now has Bork, now has Black Cleaver, as well as Giant Slayer. Can do a little bit of damage. He can start tickling the Nasus a little bit more.
Parallel Convergence, Cyber the God wants.
Cyber backs away. He's forced to ult out.
Really
HMT had 2 stacks on him. Corrin is there, wave clearing. Feeder's there as well.
Really, right now,
Bot
Relegades
side.
just have to wait. You know, they have the pressure on the top side, which is going to keep going on to that inhibitor tower, I believe. No, that one's gonna. Yeah, that's gonna get shoved back in a minute.
Corrin, a little bit close to the stun there. If that landed, I think he was most likely going to go down, but we'll wave clear.
Yeah, Baron's
Giving a
actually
chance
back
for the
up.
Azir.
Baron is back up. Both top laners have teleport.
We could see a big fight. Corrin here by the stun, and that's a big stun. Fear gets hit up. Big ultimate from Corrin, though, blocks him out. Cyber trying to jump back in. Corrin barely survives. Smart Azir ultimate. Cyber tries to kill him. Got denied.
Red Flame doing what he does best in that top lane, being an absolute ass, distracting the interns, and now he's getting onto that inhibitor. Holy crap, 33% HP in 1
He's going to be able to get it. He's going to be able to get as much as Kamachi Faster and Hip Optimus are here. They might kill him, but it doesn't matter. Kamachi Faster gets half health by 1 Q. And he's just going to be able to back away, and Hip Optimus going to do some damage, but...
Oh! He stole it!
Another Baron steal! That's number 2 for Interns United. Now Feeder's stuck in the pit versus 3. He's going to go down, but Red Flamed in the bot lane. Red Flamed in the bot lane. Still pushing up. Once that minion wave gets there, he's going to be in trouble, but a second Baron steal for Interns United.
Yeah, something has to be said here.
HM, so we see a little bit of a pause, but White Raw not on point with his smite so far. That's now 2 that he's failed to secure, and
1 steal is unlucky. 2 steals. White Raw, what are you doing? Come on, bro. You're better than this.
Come on, you're not Saint Vicious.
Maybe it's the clinch jungle pool forcing him onto a chain that he kind of has to dust off, but I mean, Vi's pretty strong.
I mean,
you know?
if he's a jungler, he should still be able to know how to smite. Doesn't matter what champion you're on.
Yeah, true.
But
I mean, with Cosmic's Lee Sin, it's a little bit easier to smite, but that
of course, because they have a little bit more burst. But
yeah,
I mean, it's not that Vi lacked burst. It's just that.
Yeah, definitely mistiming and a misplay. I wonder how. I wonder what the team reaction is to that.
I think Interns United are cheering right now, and honestly, Relegades might be tilting off the face of the planet now that they've lost 2 Barons in a row. And right now, Relegades, that gold lead, even after all those losing fights that Interns took, again, it's down to about 4K, and they have more time to scale.
Yeah, and really, there's hidden leads within that gold lead, considering the Baron buff and how much pressure they have. If they can get those lanes down, but they're working against the bot lane and the Interns. They're working against the super minion wave down there, so I think that will probably stay pushed towards them, unless they stay down there and sort of babysit it. right now. The
Yeah,
Relegades
but
are entering that jungle, pressuring.
Cyber to God. Not gonna look for a stun. Gets a little slow on to come on.
Yeah, it's
Nothing's gonna really come of that, but come on, shoot faster needs to be careful in that he sees the Echo, because if Echo tries to stun him and of course lands a stun, that's gonna be pretty bad news for him. And now position around Dragon would be a third Cloud Drake, and Red Flame now actually has a GA as well as his items. Red Flame is now full build at 33 minutes.
Yeah, that's 313.
Absolute insanity, but near the Baron Pit, Feeder gonna get caught up by three, and
faster.
Red Flame gets run down.
Do
He's
it,
gonna
go,
survive.
flash.
He's at 18 health.
Aww.
Gets hit by the E. It's still a one shot, just with a different ability. Cyber to God ults back Corrin. Cyber flashes over. There was a disconnect, but Cyber goes down trying to burst out from the cat. White Raw getting chunked out by the Azir. Samano flashes over. White Raw.
Red Flame's on the Nexus towers.
And Red Flame, he's trying to win the game by himself. He's 9-2. Feeder and Hip, they're gonna have to try and come back. Corrin,
he might be able to.
He has the
Holy
GA
crap,
up.
that's 33%. He needs just 2 more auto attacks. GA procs.
He might.
A Q
It's
and another
possible.
auto.
One more Q, and he's not going to be able to do it. Not quite, but very, very close. Red Flame almost wins the game by himself against 3 people.
The solo.
But that's going to be a free Drake for Relegades now. So they get the Drake. They now have an open Nexus. And Supers are going to keep streaming into that side, and it's going to mean that either Azir or Lucian are going to have to stay in that bot lane now. Yeah, especially with the open Nexus. Red Flame Evolve could teleport in potentially and just end the game if, for example, Interns United get caught in the mid lane. Red Flame is TP up. There are minions, say, 2/3 the way down the lane. He could just TP in, home guard in, and question is, can Interns actually get in time fast enough to stop him? Feeder. Not going to get the engage.
Yeah,
that's going to be
for Interns right now. They do have the Azir to fall back on and put that turret onto that Nexus. But that was scary. Just Red Flame, real quick. Go to the gold charts right now. Red Flame has 5,000 gold on pretty much everyone on his team, and has a 6,000 gold lead against his opponent. So that.
And now he's just running top lane. Hip Optimus, 1Q. Chunks Hip Optimus, even though Hip has the Randuin's and Ninja Tab Eyes. Q still does about 200 damage to him, and that's very spammable at this point.
Yeah, the inhibitor's back up luckily for Interns United, but on the opposite sides, Relegades pressuring onto that
Fiber ults? Question mark?
Yeah, a little bit too much poke. Azir is starting to do a lot more damage right now. But Hip Optimus onto Red Flame.
Corrin gets a little bit of poke out, trying to wave clear. Cyber looking for stun field. White Raw and Feeder both get hit by the ultimate. Cyber goes down instantly. Corrin the cat now having to flash away. They're going for inhibitor next. White Raw gets hit. Corrin's trying to do some damage versus White Raw, not able to get it. Sandwalker gets hit next. Both Echo and Nasus died, so the push was stopped for now, but that's inhibitor down. Another inhibitor is open. Yeah, this is very, very scary for Interns United right now, especially against the Nasus, who, to be fair, he's having a lot more troubles now because Lucian has hit. He has a lot more penetration now because of Black Cleaver, as well as Lord Dominic's Regards. But he's still able to do. But Nasus is still able to do some damage. White Raw and Feeder hit each other. White Raw dives in on to come on shoot faster. He gets exhausted instantly, and he gets bursted down for free.
Yeah, that was a little bit curious considering they literally just
Kind
jumped
of a
into a
question,
4v3.
kind of a questionable engage right there. And that's going to be a free turret for Interns, and Interns now trying to make a strong push. Red Flame, however, is there, and Peter gonna get hit by a, gonna get chunked down to about half health. Ult from
Red
Feed,
Flame
ult from
not as
Come On
tanky
Shoot
as he was.
faster. Cyber. Feeder walks into the ultimate, walks into the stun from Echo. Ultimate from Nami used. Nothing really coming in right now, but this is staying really tense in the mid lane. Feeder is in the front line. Come on. Feeder's gonna take a bunch of free poke, phase dive, ult from Echo. Hip is in the middle of 4 members right now. We're gonna take a lot of damage. White Raw is now back up. Cyber dives in. He's gonna go down to Corrin. Red Flame. Tank as he is, he's still getting shredded by Come On Shoot faster. He almost goes down. Samana. White Raw comes from the flank, trying to burst down Feeder. Not gonna be able to do it. Feeder survives for now.
Oh, the
White Raw
exhaust.
goes down again. And Interns
It's a big
now
goal, and they need
evening
to mark
this
that
game out.
teleport. Yeah, I'm so confused. I can't comprehend why the Relegades kept going for those uneven fights. I mean,
And now, Come On Shoot faster. Gonna take a lot of damage. But Nasus might actually win the game. This is going to be a... I think this might be it.
oh, they're trying to tie it up. They're trying to tie up the backs, but
Red Flame.
Corner the Cat was able to get on
He's
that
not
one. He's
gonna be able
definitely
to-
going to go down. Oh, he still is a Gia. Yeah, this is game. This is game, definitely. He's got the Q. He's
And
gonna do
there it
Yep,
is.
there it
Red
is.
Flame evolved.
Holy
Corey the
crap.
Cat not very happy about that.
That
And-
feels so bad.
That was unnaturally close considering how far Relegades got ahead in that game. I mean, they evened out the kills to pretty close to even. I mean, it was 24 to 21 in the end in the favor of Relegades, but the gold lead was barely there anymore.
Yeah, to go into the damage charts real quick. Red Flame, 37,000 damage, most damage on his team, but not the most damage in the game. That award goes over to Corn the Cat, who just had 1,500 more damage than Red Flame on that Azir, so he was hitting pretty hard.
Yeah, once he got those items, he did actually pick up a Leandries, curiously enough. So he was actually able to do a good amount of damage to the Vi. Primarily, for example, in the sort of tank department, because Vi didn't have a huge amount of magic resist, whereas Nasus kind of did, so he was able to tank up a little bit more in comparison. But good damage from Corrin, not quite able to stop Red Flame Evolved from doing the sneaky TP into the base and winning the game for Relegades. That was a barn burner of a game. Can't wait to see game 2. I think there
Yeah.
can be a lot of adjustments to be made.
That was pretty crazy, and I think a lot of it rests within Hip Optimus. He kind of threw that game for his team, gave that extremely large lead over to Red Flame, but that will close it out for game 1. Relegades take it, 6th place seed over 2nd seed in Interns United with a huge performance from Red Flame. So we will be right back.